Okay, so this is basically if you have one of your wash stations clogged, this is kind of an easy way to sort of take care of it and clean it. So first thing you're gonna do is remove these caps and take the screws out from underneath them. I already did that, so I'm just gonna get these caps out of the way here. And you wanna free up both this panel and this panel. And you could basically take this arm, just kind of push it out of the way. Remove all the mix bars. And you should be able to lift these up. So I believe this panel is first because it's tucked underneath the other one. And then this panel. So that'll give you access to the wash stations. So what I would normally do is I would take a cutter, basically pop off the zip tie. Just make sure you don't send it flying anywhere. Now if the tube is on here really tight, we would recommend don't pulling it. Use the cutter to basically just gently go around it and sort of wedge it and kind of like sort of help it off there right there. So it should pretty much be almost off. There you go. All right. So then you want to cut the zip tie here for this restrictor. Okay. So now the easiest way to do it is, if you have a lot of slack, you can cut it here, but we recommend not doing that. You basically want to pinch it on one side and kind of like slowly work the restrictor out of the tube there. And you can see how I'm already moving at an inch, a little bit at a time here. Again, you're just pinching right behind the restrictor and you're kind of wiggling it and sort of using your fingertips to push it up out of the tube there. Okay, now be very careful not to lose this. You want to have like a towel or something you can catch it on, you work on. So now there's the restrictor. You can see the hole right there. You want to make sure that it's clean. So you're going to use like a metal stylet or fishing line or whatever you can to kind of push it through the hole and free up whatever is blocking your line. So again, you want to look through it. Now you can hold it up to the light and look through it and you should be able to see a clear path through. So let's say we went ahead and cleaned this. You're just going to put it back in the tube and you're going to do the opposite. You're basically going to pinch from this end and wiggle it down into the tube. Now it doesn't have to be very far. I'd probably say, an inch and a half, because you want to make sure there's enough slack for the barb there. Okay. Now if you feel like you might have cut this a little bit, you could always trim it back just a hair from wherever you think you might have damaged it when you're pulling it off. Now you always want to make sure if you put a zip tie on there. Now if you don't have a zip tie, that's okay. It's not necessarily going to move because the friction of the tube is going to keep it in place. But again, we just want to make sure there's enough gap here for the barb to go on. So go ahead and slide it back on. And again, you want to, sometimes gloves help a lot. If you have gloves, it'll help you slide this guy back on. Sometimes if you put a little bit of like a soap on there, but okay, let's just say that's pretty much all the way on. And again, we'll push it the rest of the way, but you want to emulate this. So if you have a zip tie, put a zip tie on here, put a zip tie on here, go ahead and reprime it, and that should clear up whatever blockage is in those tubes. But again, you want to make sure this tube is most of the way on, but for our purposes, just demonstration, you can see how I want to put it back together. All right, that should be it. Thank you.